Hello, my crafty friends. I am so glad to be here with you today. Welcome to Stamp with Tia. I am Tia Woodward, who is now looking to make sure, yep, sound is off on my other device. Woo, didn't want to make that mistake. Tia Woodward, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'm located in Vancouver, Washington in the United States. And today is day 3 of a 4-day mini catalog launch that I've been doing. So I started this catalog launch a bit later than I normally would have. Normally I would have done it within a couple of days of the catalog actually going live. But I had a bunch of life changes take place, or not changes, well, yeah, changes. Some events take place, and I wasn't able to launch the catalog at the very beginning of the month, and so here I am, I'm launching it now. And so instead of it being a 1-day catalog launch like I have done in the past, I decided to make it a 4-day, and I've just been creating samples to share with you and been making some make and takes. So for anybody that makes a purchase of $50 or more in my online store, you'll receive 4 make and takes, and each day I've been revealing what one of the make and takes will be. So, and I'll show you what we've had so far when I turn the camera down. Let's see, couple of things. So need to remind everybody, so what with this mini catalog launch, so here's the mini catalog. All of my customers received this at the tail end of last month, and with that they also received the Sale A Bration flyer. If you do not have a demonstrator and you are would like a catalog, please, hi Sylvia, or Sylvia, Sonia, sorry about that. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for sharing too. My apologies for saying your name wrong. I do know better. So if you are a customer of mine, you already received the catalog and the Sale A Bration flyer. The Sale A Bration flyer is good July through August. And what this is with qualifying purchases, there's a bunch of freebies in here. There's stamp sets, there's dies, there's designer series paper, and there were, and as of last night, there is no longer, some cards and envelopes that coordinated. And one of the things we need to remind everybody is that the Sale A Bration goodies in here, they are while supplies last. So those are not going to be replenished. So if there's something that you've seen in here that you're interested in, or if there's something that you're seeing me demonstrate or showing you samples of that you're interested in, don't wait, because this just started on July 1st. What's the date today? Today's the 13th, and one of the items is already gone, which is incredible. I don't think, I could be completely wrong, but I'm not remembering anything going out of supply in the last Sale A Bration. So you just never know. So don't hesitate. Back to this. If you don't have a demonstrator and you are interested in starting a crafting journey, please let me know. I have the annual catalogs, and I've got these catalogs, and I've got the Sale A Bration flyers, plenty on hand. I can ship anything out. The only other piece of business that I'm going to talk about barely super quick, only because I've already talked about it for 2 days, so is just to, and of course I dropped my hair tie, which I always put my hair up as soon as I go off camera, is all of this. There is a joining special. If you join Stampin' Up during July and August, there's always the $125 worth of product for $99. So you're always getting that when you sign up. But during July and August, there is this planner and all of these pages and all of these ways to customize, and there are these extra notebooks inside and a stamp set and some sticker pages, and that's for free on top of the regular $125 worth of product for $99. You get to pick all of that. Free shipping on that order and a free paper pumpkin. And that's all I'm going to say about it because I opened this and showed it to you yesterday and the day before. Okay, I have two. I didn't quite get as much made today as I have on the other days, but I like what I've made really well. And then I think if everything goes quickly, then I'm going to make a celebration item on the spot. I'm just going to case a card that's right here on page 16 of the Sale A Bration flyer. I've already got everything cut out and ready to go right here, and I'm going to make it right on the spot. All right? So I'm going to turn the camera down. Oh, and I'm going to, before I do that, I'm going to refresh this page on my computer because we discovered a few days ago that there was a technical difficulty and why I'm not showing up. But I see people here, so anyway, there was a technical difficulty and my computer, my phone was showing the wrong direction. And so I just want to verify on this screen over here. There I am. And it's going the right way. Woo. Computer or phone is going down, or camera is going down. And I will get that keyboard out of the way. Let's see, I'm not crazy about the angle of that. Here we go. Okay, so these are the two make and takes from the last 2 days that I revealed. So this is from Hello Harvest, and this utilizes a lot of the designer series paper. This is a stamp set from the Stamp Set and Die. So this is one of the make and takes. This is the make and take that I revealed yesterday. This is from the Lights Aglow suite. This uses designer series paper. Yeah, it uses everything. It's actually quite lovely. I'm going to set that aside, and now I'm going to reveal to you what today's make and take will be. And whether you've purchased something already or you have yet to purchase, as long as you purchase during the month of July, you will receive all 4 of these make and takes. So for instance, I had somebody that made a purchase before I even started the catalog launch party. And I've been putting together her make and takes as I go along. So here is today's make and take. This is from Cottage Wreaths. So this designer series paper, the dies, the sentiment, this die, that's all from Cottage Wreaths. Then I would also emboss this piece of paper and include in your kit. And I can't wait to share. I just can't wait to share this with you. It's cute. It goes together well or easily. The embossing that was on that back panel, let me see if I can get that nice and up close for you. Can you see that? It's a wood grain. It looks like I warped that and didn't realize it. Anyway, this is called, I believe this one's called Timber. I'm going to double check that. I've got my catalog right here. It's in the annual catalog. It's not in the mini catalog, the embossing folder. It's pretty close to the back. Okay. Let me try that again because I think I've already gone too far. There it is. It is called, yes, it's called Timber. All right. Oh, picked up my missing hair tie. Okay, so as per, just exactly like I have done for the last 2 days, I have pre-cut, pre-scored, pre-embossed, die cut, everything. There's a few things that I haven't done just so that I can demonstrate that to you. Make that so that I'm actually showing you something and not just assembling something. But so I am going to, so this piece of cardstock was 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Now I'm burnishing, just creasing that fold line. This I'm going to refer to as my card front. See if I can put this in screen so that you can see. All right, so this here I am going to, I'm trying to remember my dimension real quick. This was, okay. Let's hope I find my ruler faster today than I did. I found it. I thought for sure I was going to remember this off the top of my head. This is 2 3/4, whoops, by 4 5/8. I'm going to take one end and just ever so gently, oh, I should have shown you the designer series paper. I will do that. Just a minute. And so all I've done is made just the slightest little crease right here, giving me my middle point. And I am going to cut straight up. And then I'm going to cut from the corner to the top of my cut. And from the corner to the top of my cut. Yep, that's good. Then I am just going to adhere that flat down on my card front. I'm going to use multi-purpose adhesive. It feels like the light is wrong on my desk. It shouldn't be. I'm the only one who's been in here. That looks a little bit better. I'm going to butt this up against the top, and I'm just going to center that from side to side. And I'm going to turn it over and give it a little squish. There we go. This will be applied to our card front using dimensionals, but I'm not quite ready to do that yet. Now, these are, man, I just didn't do anything here. I didn't show you the stamp set. I didn't show you the designer series paper. I didn't show you anything. Let me back up and show you a few things. Here is the stamp set for Cottage Wreaths. There are some stamped wreaths in different ways to embellish it. This is a photopolymer stamp set. Then there is a coordinating die set that has 22 dies. So here is the option to cut out the wreaths that you've stamped, or you can die cut, and that's what I have done here with detailed dies. There's 2 different dies and for layering and making it look more full. So today I've used these 2 dies. I've used this bow die. I can't wait to show you what I've done there. And those are the only dies that I'm using out of the stamp set today. Then I'm going to show you the designer series paper real quick. I see why I made that mistake. I stacked things on top of the designer series paper. Okay, so I am not going to show you all of this because there are 48 sheets in here. But what I want to show you is this suite is called Gingham Cottage. And all of the designer series paper are all different forms of gingham or plaid. And then each side, so see we've got a blown up version here, a more sedate version here, a blown up version here, a more sedate version here. And they're not all exactly the same. There are some differences. Like this one is diagonal on the back, but then it's straight of grain on the other side. So I recommend going on to stampinup.com, looking up I've got the name right here. Yeah, Gingham Cottage is the name of the designer series paper. Look it up and you can see each of the prints and each of the colors better on the screen on your computer than you can here on my camera. Okay? I can tell you what some of the colors are though. It comes with basic gray, black, blushing bride, calypso coral, garden green, mint macaron, pumpkin pie, real red, smoky slate, so saffron, and white. So I have paired mint macaron with soft suede. And then here I'm using spruce as part of the name. I will think of it in just a moment. I've got my color ring here somewhere. I saw it. Spruce. Shaded spruce, that is the name. Okay. And then one of the other items that comes in that suite of products is this. It's called threaded twine, and they call it threaded. I'm not sure if I can show this to you on the camera or not, but I'm going to try. Can you see that there is a little silver glimmer in here? So this is like a heavy jute, and then there's a silver thread running through this. So that's what that is. I'm not using this today, but you will see me use this on a future project. And then one of the other items that is in this suite is this Pearlized Enamel Effects Basics. And it's 3 bottles. You're going to see me use this today. Of this pearlized paint. It comes in, this one is black, we have real red, and white. Today I'm using real red. Sorry, I'm getting a couple more things out of the project bin here. I had everything pre-cut and ready to go. There we are. All right. Okay, so back to assembling this now that I've pulled myself back together again. So the back side of the wreath actually comes apart. Can you see that? So it's still connected at the center of the ring, but the outer edge, the leaf portion, is cut through. So what I did with my sample is I went through with my thumbnail and I separated those and just created volume. And it doesn't take very long at all. Just take your thumbnail or maybe some other tool if you don't, some people don't like to use their nails that way. I use my nails as tools. Whether it's a boating event or it's a craft project, or cleaning, My nails get used for everything. All right. There we go. So now, can you see that? I have created a separation in all of those just to create volume. There's no wrong or right way. Oh, there's an inside edge too. Darn it. Going through, going through. It doesn't need to be perfect because wreaths aren't, are they? Nature, if you're using anything that's natural, there's always going to be one little piece that's going off in its own direction or such. Almost done. There we go. All right. So I've just gone through and just basically fluffed it. Then this piece, before I apply it to the front of this wreath, where I kind of offset some of the leaves, before I do that, I need to apply that paint. Now, I've actually already done it, and I'm ready to start assembling. This one is nice and dry, but I do want to just show you very quickly. I'm going to pick one of these. Let's see, I've got to make it so that I'm not blocking my light. It's got a nice fine tip point on it, so you can control the size of the bead that you are letting out. And so I did 2 across from each other. Then I did 2 more across from each other. Now I'm just going to do 2 more. And what I found earlier is that these were setting pretty quick. I wasn't like testing them. I wasn't steadily testing them, so I can't tell you exactly how long they took to set. But I know that in an hour I was able to pick it up and start messing with it. So this one I'm just going to pick up and set aside because I have this one all ready to go. And what I did on my sample is I added just a spot of adhesive about every inch-ish. And then I laid this down right over the top. And I don't like how I've got some of my rings set up, or my leaves are not offset. So picking that up and starting over. So I'm going to hold that down for a second while it starts to, the tack starts to take hold. There we go. That's going to dry. While that is drying, I am going to cut my little door hanger here, my wreath hanger. So tomorrow will be the last day of the catalog launch, and then starting Monday I will go back to my Facebook Lives, but the month of July is really crazy for my husband and I, and so I can't say that I'll be back on a regular schedule. I won't be. So next week I will be live Monday and Wednesday. So I just eyeballed that for center and took that all the way up to the top. Then I'm going to flip this over and apply some dimensionals, and I'm going to cut my dimensionals rather small so that they don't show through the wreath. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I use the frame of leftover dimensionals, and I can cut those as small as I want. And I know from earlier that I used 4. Then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, pick up and apply these. This is a little harder away from my face, but as I set each one down, I'm going to turn it over and make sure I really can't see it. So this week, day after tomorrow, my husband and I are making a bomb run to Utah for my mother-in-law's 90th birthday party. And then I will be live on Monday and then again on Wednesday. And then we have a boat race we leave on Friday for the boat race. Not this week, but next week. And then when we come back, I will be having the procedure done on my back. And so I will not have any lives in the last week of July. I may be able to record something ahead of time, but I'm not promising at the moment, just because our schedule is so crazy. All right, so I can just set this right on here. Now, I die cut 2 of these bows, and I want to show you what I did. I used this part of the designer series paper, and I placed the bow. Let me pull this out and show you what I did. I placed the bow diagonally like that when I die cut it. And I die cut 2, and I'm going to show you why. Put my die away before before it runs away and makes me cry. I've only lost 1 die ever, and it just broke my heart when it happened. So, and of course it's always a small one. It's never a big one. So now, you want to see? See how I created a fluffy bow here? What I did is I cut 2 bows, and then I cut the ties off of one, and then adhered them in adhered the one in the center of the other. So that is exactly what I'm going to do again, because I love how it turned out. There we go. All right, then I'm going, there's a couple little score lines right there. I'm just going to fold those up just a little bit. I'm going to take your pick tool, pick this up with that clay tip so I can hold it while I am putting a dot of adhesive And then I'm going to center it on the other bow, which is hard to do from this angle. Let's see if I hold that down. Well, it sounded easier. It was easier when I was doing it right on top of myself. I'm going to hold those together till they get just a little bit tacky. There we go. And now I can spread my bow apart like that. And now I have a fluffy bow that I need to attach right here. And I'm going to put a dot of adhesive, multi-purpose adhesive there that is plenty strong to hold that. And then use my take your pick tool to move that aside. I just realized I didn't put my dimensionals on my card front yet. That's fun. That's all right. That's all right. I can do it. I can do it. But before I go any farther, I will do that. So and you do have the option of just using adhesive and adhering that flat down. I just happen to like to use dimensionals to raise mine up. So let's see if I can do this without damaging my bow. This is not how I would normally do this, but it's all right. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Yeah, I think everybody was surprised that those cards and envelopes from the Sale A Bration flyer ran out already. Didn't even make it to the second month. I mean, I knew that they were popular, but I didn't know they were that popular. All right, this is ready to be applied now. And I'm just centering from top to bottom and side to side. There, I didn't ruin my bow. Whew. Next, oh, there it is, all the way at the very bottom. I have this little piece of paper that I'm going to stamp my greeting on, or my sentiment on. I have my sentiment on a block already. Let's see if I can move this up here. This is real red. It's much cooler here in Vancouver, Washington today, and I'm grateful. Only reason I'm pulling my hair back in a pony is because the ring light gets really warm. Okay, look in the camera. I've got enough space. I can pull that forward a little bit. Yay, straight. I think I'll leave that out and grab, where's the center of my card? I know I pre-cut everything. Well, it's probably right in front of me, but I don't see it, so I'm going to just trim this real quick. I've got a piece of basic white here, and one direction was already correct, so. And I'm going to grab this bow. And do a bow up in the corner and another bow down in this corner. And there we go. That's the inside of the card. I just will clean off my stamps before I make any messy. Let's see, what else can I tell you? The new, what's it called? Paper Pumpkin that we are taking subscriptions for currently. So you can either do a one-time or several different months. The next one is sunflowers, and it's beautiful. Like, it's just so beautiful. It's got some gold elements that are involved in it as well. Super pretty. There's 2 stamp spots in it, 9 cards, matching envelopes. Okay, there's my front. We will adhere this. And so this, my friends, we are finishing up the card that is the 3rd make and take for this catalog launch party that is going to run through the end of July. So these are a Tia special. These are not a Stampin' Up special. If you go to anybody else, you're not going to get the same item. There we go. Card number 1 is done. Let's move on to card number 2. So just to review again super quick. So until I show you what the make and take is for tomorrow, these are 3 of the 4 make and takes you'll get with a purchase of $50 or more during the month of July from my online store. All right, let's set that aside. Oh, and this is how I stamped the envelope. Just a simple little bow down in the corner. All right, the other stamp set that I'm showing you today is the Trees for Sale. And I cased a card right out of the Sale A Bration flyer. So what's really interesting this time is the stamp set is in the mini catalog. The dies that coordinate with it are in the Sale A Bration flyer. The dies are, I'm trying to remember, the dies you get for free with a $100 purchase. And then this is the card that I'm casing. So there it is. Isn't that cute? I think it's cute. All right. I'm trying to remember, I think the stamp set is only like $22 or something like that. I guess I should just open this up and verify. So Trees for Sale, yep, $22. So here's the stamp set. That's on page 39. So look at all of those dies. There are 17 stamps, and there are, I can tell you, 24 dies. And what really cool is this camper that's in here. You know, like a trailer that you would see at a tree lot, or some people go camping with them. Okay, so let's pull all of this. I've just said okay several times. Get my project bin up here. Now, just like with the last card, I've already die cut everything, but I am going to give you a couple of hints about stamping and die cutting for this set as I go. We dump all these little bits and pieces out here. So again, the exact same card dimensions, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I did not try to teach anyone any fun folds during this catalog launch event. I wanted to actually demonstrate the cards or the stamp sets. I thought that was more important. Then we have, so now we have a card front. The card base has been folded down to 4 1/4 by 5.5. This piece of designer series paper has been cut to those same dimensions, so it's a 1-to-1 fit. I'm going to adhere that to the front. I did my best to case the card from the Sale A Bration flyer 1-to-1. Okay. Then I cut a 4x4 piece of basic white. This is the regular weight cardstock. And this will be our card front. So this will go just like such. Now, I'm going to illustrate or show you how so I've already pre-stamped and die cut all of the pieces that are going on the front of this card. But I want to show you how I did that so that you only have to run this through the cut and emboss machine 2 times. Okay, so let me pull over my stamps real quick. So here is the pole that holds, actually I should be putting that down, letting that rest into a natural position, and then picking it up with my block. I'm using soft suede to stamp the pole. I'm going to stamp it twice. I'm going to stamp one on this side. I'm going to stamp the other one over here, just away. Because there's 2 sets of lights and 2 poles, those are the only reasons that anything had to be stamped or run through the die cut machine more than 1 time. I'm going to scrub off my stamp, replace it because I need the same block for the lights. So all I'm doing, again, I've already stamped and die cut these pieces. I am just showing you how to run it through the machine the fewest amount of times. So putting this over here, not too close to that pole. And same thing over here. Let's see. Here is the trees for sale sign. So I'm just putting it all on this one piece of paper. So I've got one stamp on the other, a stamp on each side, because this was just for illustration purposes. So there's the trees for sale. I'm going to use crumb cake for the puppy. I used soft suede earlier and it was too dark, so I had to switch. And the only thing left to stamp for die cutting is the Christmas tree, or one of the Christmas trees. I'm using Evening Evergreen. There we go. All right. So what I wanted to show you is I have all these little pieces of post-it tape, and these are how I hold my dies in place, especially if I'm doing multiple pieces. So I would line up my die and put a piece of post-it. Let's see, I moved, I wiggled. There we go. Put a piece of post-it tape over the top. Now, I'm not going to try to die cut this set of lights because I've got this one right here. So I'm going to die cut this set of lights. And then when I run this through next time, I would just switch them around. So, whoops. Put that in place. I'm not going to do 100% of everything. I'm just doing enough to give you a good, solid understanding of my thought process. Get this tree lined up. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sonia. I'm glad you like them. And put that down. And then there's a die for the trees, there's a die for the puppy. So that's how I would do it. Is I would put all of those on, run it through, take everything off, and then go back and die cut the extra set of lights and the extra pole. Okay? So just wanted to illustrate that. And when you're done, that's what your paper is going to look like. So now, let me bring in my little square, little 4x4, and I am going to use my multi-purpose adhesive. I'm just going to put 3 dots on the back of here, one towards the bottom, one in the middle. Oh, that was way too much. A little at the top. And I'm going to plunk that down about like that. Whoops, and it moved. Of course it moved. going to do exactly the same thing, a little bit more adhesive. I had them a little too close to each other earlier, and it made it a little harder to align the lights. So hold that down. All right. So before I can attach the lights, I am going to stamp the two background trees and the tree stand. And I have these two trees. I don't have enough blocks. Well, I do. They're just not the right brand, and I refuse to show you anything that's not Stampin' Up. All right, now I've got Evening Evergreen. So I'm going to stamp two background trees, one here the other one, oh, a little lower. Then the tree that I die cut will actually sit in front, and it will look like it's closer to the front. So that will be, I'm just going to set that there for a moment. I must have adhesive on my finger. It wants to stick. Close this for a minute. I am going to use that again with this stamp for the inside of the card. All right, the tree stand is right here. Little dinky. And I am going to use soft suede. Whoops. I'm going too fast. All right, so there's my tree stand. Now before I attach, I'm going to use dimensionals to attach that so it sits forward a little bit, but I want to put my lights on. And before I can do that, I need to color them. Oh, definitely have little sticky fingers here. So I'm going to start with, I better close this so I don't make a mess. I'm going to start with real red. I have 4 colors that I'm going to use on the bulbs. So I'm going to go real red, skip 3, go real red, and then, let's see, when I did this earlier, trying to remember how I made that so that they didn't all stack on top of each other. And then I'm going to use Granny Apple Green, dark Granny Apple Green for my green color, and I'm using that one just a little ways away from there we go. Daffodil Delight for my yellow. And then I have You know, I have, oh yeah, good. I have Tahitian Tide. Man, this says dark. Let me double check here. Oh, that's a good color. Okay. For some reason, I thought I picked up Balmy Blue, but it's Tahitian Tide, and I think that's just fine. There. Now, much like I did the poles, I will, let's see. So these will sit like that. So much like I did the poles, I'm going to use 3 dots of adhesive. Sorry, I wasn't talking because I was down close to the paper, which meant my mouth was not near the microphone. There we go. So first string of lights have adhesive on them. And they are literally going to hang from top to top. And then the second set, I'm going to apply adhesive just the same way. When I'm applying it in such a small dot, I feel like my eyes need to be right on top, which is why I keep getting a little bit away from the microphone. My apologies. All right, so this one we are going to hang right over the top there and down like this. And hopefully I didn't make a mistake because I've got to leave enough room for my tree. There we go. It's going to be fine. Dimensionals. Just need a couple on the back here. I really liked the very fun bright colors that were used in the mini catalog for the trees. Let's see, do I have that crooked? It's could be better. That's better. And I'm going to see if I can, because I just stretched. There we go. Mo better. All right. Next, we're going to put a dimensional behind the trees for sale sign. And it's going to sit in front of the pole. Got kind of close to that edge there. And then here's my puppy, and my puppy, I want to add at least one spot to him. And a dot on the end of his nose. I'm going to cut from the frame. There we go. This card is almost done. And this puppy is very excited to be there. Now I'm going to add dimensionals to the back of this. So tomorrow I will have been retired 2 full weeks. And I am definitely not in the swing of things yet. I am promptly awake at 5 a.m. every day. Part of the reason I'm so busy during the day is that besides doing this catalog launch party, is we're gone during the weekends, so I have to get everything done during the week. All right, so we just have a little perimeter on each side and a bigger on top and bottom. Excuse me. And then this is the liner that will go on the inside. We're going to use the Evening Evergreen. And stamp a tree. Just like that. This is the right height, right? Yep. Make sure I didn't need to trim that. Then I can move all of these except for the crumb cake, because I'm going to use that on the next card. And I can adhere this to the inside, and we will have completed card number 2. What do you think? If you like this, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Or if you prefer card number 1, let me know that. The Facebook gods definitely show my videos and my posts to more people if I get interactions. So anything that you can do to help me out would sure be appreciated, as far as giving me a thumbs or a heart. So there is card number 2. Here are our first 2 cards. Do you like them? I do. I do, I do, I do. All right, we are now going to move on to a Sale A Bration card, because I didn't get to make it ahead of time. Let me clean up my space just a little bit. And I will show you in the flyer which card we're going to case, or I'm going to attempt to case. There is some fussy cutting because there is no dies, but this is the card right here. So I'm going to start by, so I've cut my card base, I've cut my card front, I've cut my card liner. I need to stamp 2 pomegranates and a couple sets of leaves. And that probably means I need to put away a couple of stamps. So for this pomegranate, I chose somewhere, here it is, Mary Merlot. I'm going to just scrub out. This is a brand new stamp, never been used. So I just cleaned it off with my chamois. Oh, that's beautiful. So So there's one. Maybe a little dark. I want to see what a stamp off looks like. Too light. I'm going to cut those two out. Put that away. And then I need to stamp some leaves. And for that, I've picked soft seafoam. And we'll see. Yeah. Those are beautiful. Let me take a look at that picture again and see. It looks like they are also using this set of leaves. Of course, I can do whatever I want. All right, another set of leaves, and one more set of leaves. These should all fussy cut pretty quickly. All right, so I'm going to close this and jump right into the fussy cutting, and then they have some stamping that's right on the card front. So I am just going to create a little halo around this pomegranate, trying to remember to hold it out in front of me so that you can see what I'm doing. The eye will not see or will not focus on that halo. So you don't need to overthink. If you're uncomfortable with fussy cutting, you can draw a halo with a pencil and then just follow that line. I might be dating myself, but when I was in school, we used to write our name, and then we used to write a bubble around our name. And then sometimes we would do it another one and another one. And if you had one of those pens that changed colors when you clicked to the top, you might have a rainbow around your name. Okay. First pomegranate's cut out. Oh, my halo got a little tight on that one, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry too much about it. And it's not a race, right? Sometimes I think when I'm on camera that I need to go fast, 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 but sometimes if I go fast, then I start making mistakes and drop things, and that's just not worth it. Almost done with pomegranate number 2. Thing about fussy cutting is to move the paper and basically hold your scissors stationary. All right, 2 pomegranates down, 4 sets of leaves to cut out. Stretch my back real quick here. Let's see, what else can I tell you? My husband and I we have a hobby that is related to boat racing. So we are part of the vintage hydroplane community, and we have made some amazing friends. He's been involved longer than I have. And I love them all so much. They have just been the best. I've even gotten to know some stampers through boat racing. The lady that introduced me to Stampin' Up! Products, I met her through boat racing. If it looks like I'm struggling, it's only because my scissors are casting a shadow. Anyway, my husband, he drives. We both crew for various boats, and then when he has the opportunity, he drives. And it is so much fun. So our summers tend to be filled with water and sun, and yes, we will be there for the waterfallies. Hi, Teresa, how are you? And we were there for the Richland event as well. Yes, I won't be participating. So this year, because of my back injury, I have been sidelined a bit. But I still go and participate as much as I can. Now, for waterfallies, that's the bigger boats, and right now there's a surplus of pit crew members. The shadow from my scissors, there we go, making it just a little bit. Yep, nothing beats the boat races in the Tri-Cities, that's for sure. That is premium boat racing right there. Teresa, will you go down to the boat races? If you will, I should tell you where we'll be located. All right, almost done with set of leaves number 2. Sorry, I keep turning because the shadow. And we've almost got the hard part done. Probably not Oh, the heat, yeah. Yeah, and last year, whew, remember how hot it was last year? Holy man. Yeah. Yeah, last year the Richland event got to 117 degrees. That was nuts. This year was much more easy to handle. Yeah, yeah, for sure. My husband and I are looking to relocate to the Tri-Cities, and the heat has definitely been one of the part of the conversation. But as long as it's planned for, it should be able to be handled. All right, one more set of leaves, and then we can start putting this card together. My husband is a groundskeeper, and boy, when it gets hot, it just drains his poor body. But he only has a couple years left of doing that. Yeah, that's a good point. Exactly. Nice winters. All right. So this pomegranate, I don't think I was clear in what this pomegranate stamp set, where exactly it came from. So let me go over that really quickly. It is a host stamp set. So what that means is if you purchase, if you either have a personal purchase of $300 or more, or host a party or have your friends, all go in together with you and have a purchase of $300 or more total, then you get this stamp set for free. So that's what this stamp set is. Okay, all my bits and pieces here are cut out and ready to go, except for my sentiment, but I will worry about that in a minute. I've got my card base here. I'm just going to, this is my 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Burnish my score line. All right, so they have this stamp that looks like the seeds from a pomegranate, which I'm going to scrub real quick. I'm going to use tonal, so crumb cake on crumb cake. I'm going to turn that over and start again. There we go. Some of this is not even going to be seen. I'm just filling in those edges. All right, so there is that. And then, So if you have a catalog, follow along with me. I'm on page 16 of the Sale A Bration flyer. Looks like I went a little bit overboard, but that's okay. All right. So now this is going to sit on this, and to me it looks like they have that up on dimensionals. Somewhere I've got my dimensionals. There they are. Okay. I could have closed my ink already, and I didn't. Okay. Evidently that is my word of choice today, is okay. To center that, top to bottom, side to side. Close up my ink. And then I am going to adhere one of my pomegranates flat down. The other one is going to be up on dimensionals. So let me see here. No, maybe they're all up on dimensionals. We're just winging it. Oh, I see. Some of my leaves, they'll be down. Okay. So this is going to sit something like that. And then I'm going to use my mini glue dots, which are, they should be right next to me. Yep, they are. And I'm almost out, but I have another box ready to go just in case I need them. So let's place that about like that. And that about like, oh, that looks like a different kind of leaf than I want it to. There we go. That's better. Then, like I said, I'm winging it. There's going to be a sentiment right here, so hopefully, man, I really wanted that to fill in that spot. I just don't want that to look like a pot leaf. Okay, I think I need to figure out my sentiment before I go any farther because I need to make sure that I fill in that space correctly. So here is a piece of cardstock. I'm going to pick, let's see. Is that big enough? Round is going to be weird. Maybe it should be a square. I have those sitting out too, just in case. So I could do a square. I've got multiple sizes. Okay. So Next size down. That's gonna work out fine. I think. I think I'm gonna end up with a circle. That's funny. Oh, this just for you fits. We'll do that. So I'm going to stamp just for you. I'm going to use Mary Merlot. Should I use Mary Merlot or Crumb Cake? They use some kind of orangey color, and I don't like it, so I'm going rogue. And I can center that just like such. Grab my handy dandy post-it tape. You like that? We're doing this on the fly. I will try not to have to do it on the fly tomorrow. Okay. I should have, and I know better, I should have had that done ahead of time. I'm going to pull up my leaves. I used mini glue dots, so they might have a little bit of forgiveness in them. Or not. So if I put that there, and I'm going to put that on, trying to decide if I want to use double or single layer. I'm going to use a single layer of dimensionals. That way, when I put on my other pomegranate, I can use double layer. There. So I'm going to center that about like such. And there we go. That's looking much better already. Much, much better. Ta-da! I'm so happy. I'm so much happier. Oh, I forgot to put the ribbon on underneath it. Oh well. So as I mentioned, I'm going to put on a double layer of dimensionals on this pomegranate. Hi, Polly. Yay! You know, it's so funny. I had never seen your posts until the last couple of days. I love your cards. They're beautiful. I don't know if the algorithm is, I don't know. I have no idea why I'm seeing them now and didn't see them before, but I am grateful. So I will show you, I will recap here in a minute what I've done. I didn't get my Sale A Bration card made prior to going live, so I wanted to just do it on the spur of the moment. Let's see, I need a smaller dimensional. Yes, I really like the cards, oops, the cards today. Hopefully tomorrow goes according to plan. Now I've got to figure out my ribbon. So I'm casing a card right out of the Sale A Bration flyer. Okay. So page 16, I'm casing this one here, but I forgot to put the ribbon underneath. So I need to figure out, I've got the ribbon that they used. I just need to figure out how I'm going to, well, maybe I'll just put a bow right there. And not overthink it. Just not overthink it. My little handy dandy bow maker here. So that actually doesn't look half bad right there. Trim these tails. And then where'd the mini glue dots go? They've got to be right in front of me. I just used them. All right, I've got a brand new box sitting right here. I'll use these. It must have rolled off somewhere. There we go. There we are. What do you think? Do you like it? I hope. They were sitting right in front of me, literally right in front of me. Okay, so let me clear a little bit of this mess out of the way and bring forward the cards that we made today. Man alive, I've got a lot of stuff on my table. All right, so this was another card that I cased right out of the Sale A Bration flyer. This uses the Trees for Sale stamps that are out of the mini catalog, and then the tree lot dies that are in the Sale A Bration flyer. So there was that. And then here is Cottage Wreaths. And that one I did not case. So there we are. That's what we made today. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. Cool card. I know, right? Yeah, me too. And I think a lot of people were kind of thinking the same thing. That's actually why I went for just casing it. Well, thank you everybody for joining me. I really appreciate it. I will get the links to the YouTube video up here shortly. I will be, I'm hoping for tomorrow, but I don't know, that might not happen until Monday, to get all of these things updated on my blog. So everything that I've done for day 1, day 2, day 3. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I appreciate all of you. And big hugs. Have a wonderful day.